just before we get going, just a reminder that we'll be recording the meeting this morning to send out to our landlords and our investors. So how about before we start, we might go around, I know we're doing this virtually, but just basically desk by desk, and you can introduce yourself to your landlords and then they can, because most of you will only know the particular investors or landlords and they'll only know you as the property manager. So it'd be good to show everyone's face. How's that? Belen, you can go first.
Hi, I'm Belen Parks. I'm the team leader for Ray White Buderim. Have been with the company for, goodness gracious, 13 years.
Hayley?
Good morning. I'm Hayley Anderson from Ray White Buderim Property Management. I've got a 4.5-year experience here doing a portfolio of 50 and new business.
Very good. Who's next?
Denise. You're on.
Hi, I'm Denise Rowe. I look after the trust account and also manage a small portfolio of my own. I've been with Ray White for 20 years.
Is that all?
It is.
Billy.
Good morning. I'm Billy Seller. I'm one of the property managers here as well, and I've been with the Buderim property management team for just on 6 years.
Very good. Hey, and Billy, I know you're on holiday, so thanks for jumping on today. Really appreciate it.
No worries. Happy to.
Good day. You deserve the break too, Billy. Hey, Tanea, are you there?
I am. Hi, everyone. I'm Tanea Erickson. I'm property manager here at the Buderim office. I've also been in the office for about 6 years, and I manage a portfolio of 160.
Very, very good. Chelsea, the busiest girl in the world.
Hello, everyone. My name's Chelsea Jones. I'm the leasing agent of the office, newest team member of the office, so been with the company for almost a year now.
Good. And your role? A bit more about your role?
So leasing agent. So I'm, when anything becomes available, go through, do the inspections, qualify prospective tenants, and yeah, so whenever you've got an available property, I'm the one who'll be going through and making sure that we get that leased.
And also your latest role is a videographer.
I'm also now the videographer as well. So any of the videos you'll see, I'm sure you've seen my face popping up online and on the YouTube channel. So yeah, a new thing we've implemented, which is working very well.
Very good. Okay. Yes, last off.
Hey, my name's Jessica Clements. I've been reception and front desk and assisting property management here at the Buderim office for the past 2 years.
Very good, very good. Okay, well, look, let's just start the meeting like we normally do. And I might just remind all the investors and landlords that may be listening now, we do have these meetings every day from 8:30 till 9. So we're just going to run through it like we normally do. Okay, Belen, where are you at?
Okay, so I'll just go through a quick snapshot for the month of May. We've just done end of month, as you all know. So we started the month of May with 545 properties under management. Sorry, that was April. And we ended at the end of May with 550. So a gain of 5 properties, which is really, really good considering what we're facing at the moment. We had 8 tenants change over. So what, as we all know, changeover is new leases for the month. So with 9 new properties signed up. So in total, we've had 17 properties or 17 leases that we have done for the month of May. Now, we're still going through a lot of applications. Now, when I say a lot, there are multiple applications that we go through for each property that we have. Currently, we have 16. Is that right, Chelsea? 16 properties available?
We're now up to 18.
We have now 18. Very
As of end of day yesterday.
Yeah, fantastic. So I'm sure Chelsea and Jess will fill us soon about the leasing aspect of the business. But the overview of arrears, we have 10 tenants over 7 days in arrears at the moment, which We are working very hard to resolve this. COVID-19 has given us a lot of challenges, and one of the biggest challenges we've ever faced is actually how we monitor rent arrears. So that's our number one challenge at the moment. But overall, it's still not too bad. It's only under 2% of the total, but we want it a lot lower because in the last 2 years, our rent arrears have been under 1%, as you all know. Vacancy rate is still low, considering what we're facing. It's 0.5%, meaning we have 99.5% occupancy, which is really good. I'm sure a lot of hotels would want that occupancy at the moment, but we have that in the office. Our average rent for 550 properties has jumped a bit at 483 per week. And so we haven't really seen a big fall in rent that a lot of the high density areas are facing at the moment. So far, as I said, the biggest challenge we've got is rent arrears. And at the moment, we have 12, that's a dozen, 12 tenants that have agreed, or we have agreed to adjust their rents because of COVID-19. And presently, we have one tenant totally refusing to pay rent. And as I said, that's the biggest challenge at the moment. So that's a quick snapshot of May. Brett?
Good. And what about your portfolio, Belen? Any problems in there that we need to throw out there?
There was potentially a big problem with non-payment of rent, but thankfully this particular tenant was able to secure funds from overseas, enabling them to pay the whole of the rent arrears. So far, so good.
Very good. Cool. Okay. Hayley, a bit of a snapshot of your portfolio for last month, and any questions you want to throw out to the office?
Good morning. So I've got a portfolio of 50. They're all pretty good, nice and solid. I've got one tenant, that's the one that's not paying rent at all, but we've got an agreement with the owner and management have stepped in, and we've got that one all under control. Owner's happy, so we're just working through that process.
Yeah, good. I spoke to Jane yesterday, as you know, and then we had Belen phone the tenant, so it looks like we might get some negotiations there to reach an agreement. They're looking to move out they've got an agreement to maybe move out by the end of this week. Is that right?
Well, hopefully by the 10th of June, we'll know the date. Definitely
Okay.
before the 4th of July.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, that was a big progress made yesterday. So other than that, mine are all under control. I've got one other tenant on a payment plan, but that's just for 8 weeks, and then it goes back to normal rent. So lease renewals are done till August, and yeah, just business as usual.
Good. And we're keeping up with our routines now. We're reinstigating them for June, July, and August. Yep.
June and July, yeah, all booked in.
Good. Excellent, Hayley. Denise, I know you've got a small portfolio. Any issues there? But also just need to chat about these rent arrears. What are we doing about them?
Monitoring it every day. It really hasn't grown too much as far as what we used to have. Most tenants have been pretty good and will come to us if they see a problem. But we're still following the process of notices being issued. Under the new COVID, if the tenant does claim that they are COVID impacted, we have to issue a show cause notice. They have 14 days to then get back to us with, showing proof they've been impacted. So it's just a matter of still following the process. But most tenants
have we had any pushback from tenants when we've been issuing these notices?
What was that, sir?
Have we had any pushback from the tenants when we've been issuing these notices?
Not yet. I have had one tenant who did show cause. We already had him on a notice to leave because of the end of the lease, which he has now moved out but did not pay rent. He's just thought that his rent should be waived because he's been severely impacted.
Okay.
So it's just a follow-up through the RTA and following the process through...
And retaining the bond, I imagine.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, Billy, holiday boy.
Good morning. Well, I think I've probably got about 6 rent variations so far. And I think I'm in quite a fortunate position where both the owner and the tenant have negotiated on either side and have that understanding that we're both negotiating and we're in it together. And we've managed to come to an agreement between the two and a timeline as to what's going to happen over the coming months. As far as vacancy goes, I have had a few properties coming up, but by the same token, there's still tenants looking for properties, which has been great. And just beefing up that communication between owners, tenants, tradies, because, you know, being available is the most important thing, and just discussing and catching up with people to see where they're at, what we're going to do next, and just keep the communication channels open.
Billy, just on those vacancies and maybe to the office, when these properties are becoming vacant, what's the feel from the tenant? Chelsea might answer this later. What's the feel from the tenants through the applications as far as wanting reduced rents? You know, do we feel that the rents might be coming down? I noticed Belen said the average was 483. I actually checked last night in January, it was 470. So rents have been slightly increasing through the year. Is there any pushback from tenants saying, look, I'm not paying that, I'll only offer this yet? Or everyone's just happy to pay the rent that we're telling them?
A little bit more than usual, I think. People are asking those questions. Yep. By the same token, we are getting a lot of tenants offering some rent up front because they understand that employment's a big thing at the moment as well.
Cool. Great. Excellent. Tanea.
Yeah, I found when COVID sort of first started happening, I was getting a lot of requests for rent reductions. That has definitely slowed down. I've only got one at the moment on a payment plan. Those tenants have been in the property, believe it or not, since 1999, so really long-term tenancy. We've made a short-term arrangement for them, the landlord has.
Are you serious? They've been in this property since 1999?
Yeah. 1999, so
they could own it now.
Nearly.
Yes, they could.
Not quite. One positive I guess I've seen in my portfolio is probably that tenants are signing renewals a lot quicker than they used to.
Absolutely.
I'm sort of finding that tenants are wanting to keep security as well, which is awesome for our landlords. They're getting renewals signed and know where their property's at, which is good.
Great. What about any maintenance issues, Tanea?
Maintenance has been as is. I haven't noticed really an increase or a reduction in that. Tenants are still happy for tradespeople to come through. Landlords are still cooperative in allowing maintenance to happen. So nothing's really changed in terms of that for me.
Cool. Very good. Very good. Okay, Chelsea, let's run through these properties. And Jess, I'm sure you can jump in any time with applications as well. Yeah. A bit for the, I might just mention, because we might have some landlords and investors listening, if we use the word apps, we're actually talking about applications. When tenants put in applications to lease properties, the girls use the term app.
Yeah, so well, on my side of things, obviously with the restrictions that were put in place where we couldn't conduct open inspections like we usually would, we put some new strategies in place by, as we were discussing earlier, monitoring and filming the virtual inspections, which has been great for tenants who haven't been able to physically view the property. So we go through, do a video walkthrough, and then that means that, you know, everyone does get a fair opportunity to do that. One thing I've noticed in my role is we're actually getting a lot of people moving interstate. So people who are previously working in Melbourne who are now wanting to come and move up, who haven't been able to physically view the property, they have been able to watch the video and get that video walkthrough so they can still have the opportunity to do that. There's definitely still a lot of people looking for properties. There's a lot of people who are going through and embracing the changes that we've been making. So I think it was the month of April, we leased 40 properties in 40 days. So definitely hasn't slowed down on my end with that. So we do have a lot of people still looking for properties, and the new strategies we are implementing have been fantastic. So keeping everyone's health and safety at the forefront by doing the videos and then giving them the ability to apply has been working really, really well. And we've been getting really positive feedback from prospective tenants.
Yeah, and we chatted yesterday. Sorry for butting in there, Chelsea, but we chatted yesterday about possibly now with the ability to do open houses, we still might keep going and doing these private inspections on the rental properties for the month of June at least. You still happy to do that?
Yeah. So it's working really well. And by having the video walkthrough as well, we do have people who, you know, still uncomfortable coming out and being in public places with a lot of people. So by having the video, it does minimize the risk for everyone. And then as well, rather than them spending an hour out of the day having to take time off work to come and view the property, they can view the property from the comfort of their home, work out whether or not it is suitable or not. And then from there, we go through the application process, do the private inspections, which has been working fantastically. So
Brett, we actually had a tenant moving down from Mackay who left us a Google review lately, and she said it was fantastic to have things like the video because she could get a feel for the property. And she said when she got here, everything was as it was, the pictures were as described, the property was as per the video. It just made the process a lot more seamless, and you know, it was what she expected. So it was nice to hear that those sorts of things are helping people.
Yeah,
good.
And I've been getting that feedback a lot from people that have been inquiring, which has been great. So even when all the restrictions and everything are lifted, I definitely think this is a procedure that we will keep in place moving forward, because it really does help people, especially the interstate people or people from the Gold Coast. It really does help them to be able to view the property without having to travel.
All right. Do you want to quickly run through our properties then? And you and Jeff can...
Yeah, so at the moment we've got 18. So I think since Friday we've had 6 new properties listed. Coming to the end of the lease. So I think there's only maybe 2 or 3 that we don't have applications on at the moment. So with the new
multiple applications, Chelsea, not
multiple applications. Yes. So there was a property the other day that we probably about 2 weeks ago that we listed. It was one of Tanea's, and by the end of the day that it was listed, we had 17 applications in on it.
Which one was that, Chelsea?
31 Jarrah Road.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a lot of people looking. There's a lot of interest in them. So yeah, really, really good with that. And by giving everyone, it used to be that our policy was you had to physically view the property before you could apply. So by implementing this now, where everyone can apply for the property, everyone's given the fair chance, the same opportunity, regardless as to whether or not they can make an inspection or not, that they can still submit an application.
Very good. Jess, you want to jump in with anything?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Perfect. So I looked this morning, we're up to 25 applications. So overnight we received probably 8 new applications with the new properties listed. So getting a lot more applications in every day, but we're able to filter through them and assess their suitability before doing the full process, which is really good. Cuts a lot.
Okay.
And jumped into a new program with Ray White that's electronic. And you find that useful?
Yeah, look, I can come in the next day and a lot of the reference checks are already done. So we can, that's the first thing to assess whether or not they're suitable for that property and for a tenancy. So it's really good.
Yeah. Jess, how are you finding our, when tenants are coming in, putting applications in with their reference checks, how are you finding the other property managers from other companies giving you references? Is there any pushback from that? Not wanting to lose their tenants?
No. Well, we haven't had many bad references lately, which is good, bad, meaning, you know, if they've been in rental arrears or anything throughout the tenancy. A lot of the time, I've had actually a lot of agents recently just ring me and speak to me about the references rather than sending them back. They do just want to give us a little bit more information about the tenants rather than just writing it on the reference and whether or not they're really good. So that's been helpful. I've been doing a lot of talking lately with people, so.
That wouldn't be hard for you?
It's not hard. Not hard for me to do that.
Okay, well, let's we might wind up then. That's a pretty good snapshot of last month. Look, I still think that as we've discussed through June now, let's focus on getting those routines back up and running now. As we were just chatting about, make sure we really keep some good tenants coming to these properties, and 25 applications. And how many vacant properties do we need to lease? 17, was it?
It just that Chelsea
18.
just said 18. I can just see there's 19. Somebody.
Yeah, so let's try and get as many of those leased as we can this month. Routines, get the properties leased, and also keep these rent arrears under control at the moment, because they can. I know there's some agencies that their rent arrears are escalating out of control. So let's really keep that. Work hard to make sure that rent's getting paid. Cool. Anything else anyone wants to jump in with?
None for me, guys.
No. Hayley? All good?
All good here.
Good-o.
I just saw your son sneaking in at the back.
All right, guys. Have a super day, hey?
Bye.
You too. Thanks so much, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Good-o.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.